doing the Maimorim and the Hisofas on the Torah, and we're doing now the Hisofas. This is actually Shir Hashirim on the Torah. This is the 28th Mamer, and this is a Lahavin Biur Hadvarim Al Posik Ani Yeshena V'li Bi'or. This is explaining the previous Mamer is on the Posik Ani Yeshena V'li Bi'or Chulu. I'm asleep, but my heart is awake. Hine hanishomo yordo milmailo mibchinas elokus. The soul descends from above, from godliness, which means the soul is godly. Kiboi nishmas avrohom me'olam ha'avo. The soul of Avram comes from the world of love. Avram Ohevi. Avram's measure was love. So it came down from the level of Ava, level of chesed, of godliness. Kihine yesh b'neshamis eser sviris. There are 10 sviris in the soul. Hainu. What is the 10 sviris? Usually by the soul, we call them 10 koiches. Those correspond to the 10 spheres. In the soul, there is 10 spheres, hainu, which is seichel umides. That's the intellect and the emotion. Those are the 10. Umislabeshes, and that dresses up be'eser spheres shel nefesh habahamis, and the 10 spheres of the animal soul. So the 10 spheres of the neshama dress up in the 10 spheres of Shabahamis. And when the soul arouses its love, its fear of Hashem that possesses the nefesh elikis, the neshama, hein ava hativis kinei lifnei avuka. Whether we're talking about the natural love, and then it becomes kinei lifnei ha'avuka, as a light in front of a flame, which is, I guess, it's a lower level of a love. It's a natural love. It's not yet been fired up. It's not a avuka yet. Vehein ava sichlis or sichlios, or it's a love based on the intellect, a logical love, ava sichlios. So when the neshama has that ava v'yira and v'kivon shehi melubeshes b'nefesh abahamis sheba odom, and since it is dressed up in the animal soul of the person, so therefore automatically, harigam nefesh abahamis maskemes umisratzi. So then also the animal soul agrees and accepts la'avo zu, to this love, and therefore v'iskafi v'ishapcha, and it is subdued and it turned around. So basically, your neshama is dressed up in the nefesh abahamis, has the corresponding powers, and when you, the nafsh elikis, is ma'ir neshama to have abba v'yira, and since it's dressed up in the nefesh habahamis, so then it agrees to it and it accepts it and it becomes subdued and turns around. This is the purpose of the descent. The neshama descends, comes down from Elokus. The purpose of it is for the aliyah, is so that it will be elevated later on by having the Abba V'yira over here and turning around also the Nefesh Habahamis. So it turns out that the elevation is through the fact that you also bring up the Nefesh Habahamis. So we need to understand nikra aliyah. Why do we call this an elevation when the nefesh abahamis is turned around? The idea is kinei nefesh habahamis nilkcha mipnei arye pnei shor chulu shem chayis hakodesh. The animal soul comes from the level of the Merkava, which has the face of the lion, the face of the ox. Those are chayis hakodesh. Those are holy chayis. V'hinei, these level of these chayis hakodesh, depending exactly at which station they are. V'hinei bibriya heim serafim. These holy chayis, when they're in bria, they're the angels that are called serafim. Ubi yitzira, they're called chayis. Ubayasiya, they're called efanim. But the kulam b'kedusha atzma shekvar nizbarer, and all of them, whether it's Srofim, Chayis, Efanim, are all already in the side of Kedusha that has been already sorted out. The Hainu shenimshach behem b'chines bitl v'hoifanim b'ra'ash godel. They already have the level of bitl. Even the Efanim in Asiya is b'ra'ash godel with great fanfare, meaning that they have subjugation before Hashem. That is the Malochim, that they come from the Merkava of Pnei Ari Pnei Shor. Ach nefesh habahamis shaba'odom shehi b'chinas nifrod, but the animal soul that's in the person, that is in a level of separation. It's not elikus, it's not connected to godly, it is separate. Unlike the Malochim, even though they come from Pnei Ari Pnei Shor, but they are subjugated. They are elikus. He nilkecha mibchinas shmore efanim. That comes from the leftover of the efanim. Upesoiles shobahen, and the leftover in them she'adayin lenivreru, that have not been yet sorted out. Utzrichim birur mibchinas shmore efanim upesoiles shobahem. And they require sorting out from their level and shmorei fanim that's in them. Shadayin lenivredu, because they haven't yet sorted out. It seems like these are a repetition. Am I reading correctly?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because you turn back, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it. So let's go.
It was nivreru v'tzrichim birur al yadei haneshama v'yesh.
Okay, good. Okay.
And you start read from that point instead of al yadei. You start read before.
Yeah, good. All right. So utzrichim birur al yadei haneshama. So the shvav is the neshama. V'yesh bahem b'chinas pnimis u'b'chinas chitzonis. And there is in the of this level of the shmorei efanim that has not been the varer, there is the inner and the external. Hapnimis mimeno, the inner of that is hinefesh habahamis shabahodom. That's the animal soul in the person. V'hi bala seichel u'midas, and the nefesh habahamis has intellect and emotions. V'chitzonis mimeno, and the external of it, hinefesh behema mamish. That's actually the nefesh of an animal. So you have the pnimius, which is the nefesh habahamis, which has an intellect and has emotions. That's the pnimius from the shmorei efanim, and the chitzonis is actual behema. V'hinei, but nevertheless, everything comes from the Pnei Aryeh, Pnei Shor, from the level Shaloi Nivreru, have not yet been sorted out. Achalio bider zeh einei nasis bepam echod. This elevation, this sorting out, isn't done all at once. Elo le'olam, but always, forever.
You again missed piece of. If you
Huh?
asking me, you again miss piece of Mamer. You jump over like sentence, like whatever it is.
So tell me, where am I up to?
Uh, let's start from them. When you finish previous sentence, vehine mekor v'shoresh pnei arye hem me'olam hat hu milpnei melech melech yimloch v'yim.
No, we didn't. I didn't get there yet, so I'm missing that piece.
No, 1 second. You reading already? Ach aleha
Yeah,
uvirim,
Melifnei
right?
Okay, okay, hold on.
It's
Yeah.
like 4
Melifnei
sentences.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah. I made a mistake. Yep, I skipped. I'm going back. Good. Okay, let's
it's
go
up to
back.
you.
Made a mistake. V'hinei mokir v'shoirish pnei ariyeh chulu hey me'olam hatoyu. So the source and the root of the pnei ariyeh comes from the olam hatoyu, which is melifnei meloch melech, from before meloch melech, before a king, vayimlech vayomos. And over there was the level of he was king and he died, which means the shviras hakelim. It was the Melech Melech, that's the Olam Hatikun. Melech Melech li Yisrael, that's Atzilus. This is Olam Hatuya before Melech Melech. And over there, what happened was Vayimlech Vayomos, as the Parsha talks over there. Shenoflu b'shviras hakelim. They fell in the breaking of the vessels that was in the Olam Hatuya. V'lochein habehema yoser chazoko bria me'odom. And that's why, because it has a higher source, that's why the animal is stronger and healthier, more powerful than a person. Mipnei she b'chinas hagvura sheshorsham olam hatoyu, because she is from the level of gevura which comes from the world of toyu. And therefore, kishemis ala nefesh habahamis. And that's why when the Nefesh HaBahamis is elevated, it's on a higher level because it comes from a higher place. The problem is that it's not binizbarer. But when you are Maila the Nefesh HaBahamis through the person, it goes to in a greater level, it goes to its source. This is similar Ka'inyan. It's like the idea of Mokim Shabalit Shuba Emdim Chulu, a place where the Balit Shuba stand, even a Tzaddik Gomer. So it means the fact that you turn it around, you take the Nefesh Havahamis, and you turn it around from its previous state to bring it up to a higher level, you bring it to a higher level, like idea about Shuba is higher than the Tzaddik. It's not done, this elevation, this sorting out isn't done at once. But all the time, all the days of our lives in this world, needs to be sorted out after sorting out. Shahadei umalchus bakoil mashallah. The Eibishter's malchus is bakoil mashallah, and meaning that the Eibishter's kingdom malchus is everything. So no matter how high you go, you have the Shekhinah that you got to constantly elevate, that's in the level of the descent. Like, for example, we say, Kolu le'edom Shekhinah imoim. When the Eden exiled into Edom, the Shekhinah went along with them. That means, Hainu, Hislapshus Ashchina v'yiridosa ba'ayin sorim lahachyesom. Malchus v'kol mashallah means that the Shekhinah dresses up and descends descends into the 70 officers to vitalize them. So we constantly need to elevate it. This elevation that is called the level of eating. Eating, just like food, you sort out and you get the blood, as we learned before, to this sorting out. And when you elevate it, that's called the level of eating of blood, which is Roya Yisrael. Roya Yisrael as the shepherd of Israel. But over here it means that Yisrael is shepherding, is sort of feeding and giving that chayis of the Shekhinah, of the Ein Sof, to dress up in the Ein Sorim and to elevate it from there. The Hainu al derech moshel, say by example, K'moi hamaychel shemechayes ha'odam mipnei shu moitze pi havaye hayoser gavoya, the food that vitalizes the person because it comes from the moitze pi havaye, which is a higher moitze pi havaye, min moitze pi havaye shemenishmas ha'odam, than the moitze pi havaye which is in the soul of man. That he was behind the last for the act of creation. That means that all the creations that preceded the person come from a higher level of the Moitze Pi Havaya than the person who was the last. So likewise, the animal souls who is rooted in the world of Toyu, Shehu Lifnei Melech Melech, which is before Melech Melech, Vayidei Habirur, and through sorting out, he nasis bechinas alakus, she turns to the level and becomes godly. Ayidei his hapchus bechinas bitl alakus mamish, by turning around into a level of totally being subjugated to godliness. As we say, v'ahavta b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha, to love Hashem with all your heart and all your soul, u'b'chol chayfetz v'tainug, and any wants and any delights is only turned around, is only Hashem. Mili b'shamayim chulu, v'nechmod v'noyim v'noyra chulu. V'zehu tachlis aliyoso li'ishta'ovo begufo de malko mamish. And this is the goal of its going up. It actually gets drawn into the body of the king itself. And through that, that's like the eating, digested, gets inside the godliness. And through that, he mamsheches chayis ve'oirin sov v'kelim d'atzilus. And that way, it brings down the vitality and the oirin sov into the vessels of Atzilus. V'zehu v'asisem oisom kilu asuni. Say that you should do them, or here you translate v'asisem atem, you should do them, is ki ilu asuni, as if you made me, because Yidden are making up, because they are the one that are mamshich, the chayis, and they're in sof in the kingdom of Atzilus. That's making up. That's the Yidden making it up. So before, it's explained a little bit different. The Hainu mitzad shoyresh nefesh elokis atzmo, that because of the root of the nefesh elokis itself, she'olu b'machshava, that they went up into the level of the highest level of Machshava. The Milo Mechayis, the Kelim, the essence, higher than the vitality of the Kelim of essence. Al Yidei Zeh, Yesh Lahem, Yesh Bekoicham. That's how they have the power. They can bring down the chayis and the Eidin Sof. Here we're talking about that it's through the elevation and the birur of the nefesh habahamis that they're mamshich, the Eidin Sof, the in atzilus. But before, we talked about the root of the nefesh elokis itself, that you bring down the Eidin Sof because of the higher root of the nefesh elokis. So he says, Ushnei Yonyonim Emes, they're both true. It's Sai Mitzad the Shoydish of the Nefesh Elokis, and also because of the Hishapcha of the Nefesh Habahamis, who comes from the level of Torah. This is also the Beis Bechines, the two levels, the Achoisi V'Rayosi. Achoisi Chidl Kamon. One, the Achoisi is the Nefesh L'Chayra of the Nefesh L'Kis by itself. And the Rayosi is the Roya, is the feeding, because that's the level of through the is Kafya and is Hapcha. That's why Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is called by the name of heart. As we say, Tzur Levavi Chulu, the rock of my heart. So we see that the Eibishter is referred to as Lev. And the reason is Ki Halev Mekabel Hadam Mehakovet. The heart receives its blood from the liver. Shehakovet Mevashel Hadam. The liver cooks, digests, or purifies, cooks the blood. And it sends the best of the blood. It sends it to the heart. And the heart closes. The blood that it received. And then a power from the brain extends. And it opens the heart. Then the blood extends and expands outside of the heart, from the heart and outside. It goes out to the lungs. And it connects and it expands to all the limbs. Also, likewise, Hashem is called by a heart. Al derech moshul shemekabel misaruso deletato, that it receives from the isaruso deletato, which is mibiru nefesh habahamis and is barir bebechinas v'ahavto b'chol levavcho, that it was sorted out by loving Hashem b'chol levavcho v'seder shema. Shehu nikro haloas man al derech moshul. This is called a lot of similar, by way of example, HaMichael Shen is barir, the food that has been sorted out, ba'akovet shoyleach hamuvchar lelev chulo. V'al yidei zeh nimshach hamshochas hamad, and that way the mayim, the churim, are extended. Sheyored hamshocha mechochmei lo upeseach es halev, that the hamshocha descends from chochmei lo and opens up the heart, umashpia hachayis shebetoicha lamato, and then the energy that's in the heart goes below. So ולכן, כמוי שהלב דופק ברוצה ושוב מפני הסגירה והפסיכה הנ"ל, because of the, just like the heart, the pulse, because of the opening and the closing, so is also the chayis is always rotza v'shoy hulu.